What's up, guys? It's Carter from Clarity Auto Details, and today we're taking a look at the IK Foam Pro 2. So, the IK Foam Pro 2, what is it? Basically, it's a foaming pump sprayer. So, you fill this with a diluted chemical of your choice, you pump it up, and you pull the trigger, and it's going to give you super thick foam. These sprayers are available at the Rag Company, and you can also get them for 15% off using the coupon code Clarity15. They'll be linked down in the description below. Now, that being said, yes, we are ambassadors for the Rag Company. However, this review was not sponsored. This sprayer I paid for, this one I did not. This one I've had for a year, so this is, my honest personal views on the sprayer. So, let's talk a little bit about it. So, like I said, it's super simple. You just pump it up with the right dilution of chemical. You pump it up, pull the trigger, and it foams. These are very very and stout sprayers. There's not a whole lot that goes wrong on them, or that even can go wrong on them. They're very good sprayers. So the fact that this thing works perfectly after a year with the way that I treat it is pretty impressive. So let's go ahead and unbox this guy and show you guys kind of what's inside the box. So when you buy your IK Foam Pro 2 and you unbox it, what you get in the box is the sprayer. As you can tell, this one's much prettier, brand new than my old one is. You get some booklets, like a manual or whatever. And then you get this little packet full of some goodies. Now we'll talk a little bit about what's in this packet. So, in this packet, you're gonna get a couple different things. Number one is you're gonna get these two colored thingies. It's kind of interesting. This is red. I got green and blue with this one. I guess they've changed colors or gotten new colors or something, which is kind of cool. Great, more color coding. But basically what you can do is you can kind of just set this on there like that, on the bottom of your sprayer, and they can go on each sprayer, and then that way just color coded what's in each sprayer. Okay, so I don't personally use them on mine, or at least this one, because this one I use to clean wheels, and I have a Gamma Seal on my wheel bucket, which makes it likes to fly off because of the Gamma Seal. It catches on the Gamma Seal. So if you don't have a Gamma Seal on your wheel bucket, then you'd like these color-coded tips a little bit more than I do. But one nice thing for them is that it's also a storage solution for the rest of this baggie. So the other two things in this baggie, one are filters. I'll talk about changing filters, what the filters are in a second. And then these are tips. Basically, you get 3 tips. One's already installed in the sprayer. You got the orange for your wet foam, green for your dry foam, and then gray for the middle. Typically, I'm going to be using the gray most of the time, just because it's a great normal foam. But yeah, the nice thing about this is that it's hollow inside of here, so you can store your tips and even your filters in there. I wouldn't do filters if I was you, because they'll get wet, but you can store your tips in there so that they're always in there. You never have to worry about where your filters are. So it's great. It's a nice color coding solution, and man, this thing holds on. So yeah, I like those little things from an idea standpoint, but as far as using with a bucket with a Gamma Seal, it's unfortunate that it doesn't work better But I would put that on the Gamma Seal because it catches it. On a regular bucket, it's not gonna catch. So there's what's in that little baggie. And let's show you how to actually change the tip. So when you unscrew the lid here, inside of here is where the tip goes. And you can see that little gray thing inside of there. Basically, you can just pull it out and then you switch tips. So I'm gonna put the green tip in this one just for demonstration today, because what I'm gonna use this sprayer for today is going to require the dry foam. So here's the two parts. Disassembly of this sprayer head is not gonna go much past swapping out the tip by pulling out the straw. Don't mess with this. This is the pump. Don't play with that. Don't touch it. Don't do anything there. With this, oh, look at that. They did have it. So inside the sprayer, you're actually gonna get some dilution guides as well inside the bottle. Anyway, inside the bottle is a 50-ounce bottle. That's the highest you'd want to fill it. I wouldn't necessarily fill it all the way up every single time. I'd do probably about 35 ounces every time I filled it up, because you're gonna get more air and then your pump session is gonna be longer. So that's the bottle. It's not super special. Here is the sprayer assembly. Like I said, the straw is how you change the tip. It just goes inside at the tip of the straw. It's not this tip. You can unscrew this to change the spray pattern if you want it vertical or horizontal, and then you can unscrew it all the way, and that's where that little paper filter is going to go, which is right inside of there. Now these paper filters should last quite some time. They last a long time. In the year that I've had this one, I've changed the paper filter out twice. It all kind of depends. Don't worry about it until you start seeing some issues with your foam. So if you start seeing some sort of issues with your foam, maybe it's a little bit runny, maybe it's not foaming the way that it should be. As long as your dilution's right, I would check your dilution first. If your dilution's good, then the next thing I would check is the paper filter, especially if it's been a couple months that you've had the sprayer and you haven't changed out the filter yet. That would be the place to look. So that is literally all the disassembly you will ever need to do to this sprayer head. So now that we've got that out of the way, that's any kind of maintenance you have to do. If you want to be extra about it, you can put some water in here, spray some water through it, that'll clean it out. I've done that maybe twice in this thing. In my opinion, it's not super necessary, but it's probably a good idea to do it anyway. But yeah, that's maintenance. Changing the tip, changing the filter, and yeah, that's cycling it out with water if you want to. Right here, you've got this red hand thing. That's a trigger lock. Okay, so if you want, the trigger to be locked, there you go. This is the pump. It just pumps like that. There's this little thing right here. It's a pressure valve. So it'll automatically pop when the sprayer is fully filled. And then to release pressure, you can just pull it up and that'll release all the pressure. One thing I have failed to mention so far is that you do need to release pressure every time you use the sprayer, because if you leave it under pressure, that will wear on the components inside of the sprayer. So here we've got our dilution card with general dilution ratios. So for recommendations for your foam, if you're using car soap, you're gonna wanna do 34:1, somewhere around there. For all-purpose cleaners, for light cleaning, you're gonna wanna dilute 10:1, and for heavy cleaning, you can dilute it up to 5:1. For iron removal, you can dilute at 5:1. And for other chemicals, for the better results, you're gonna want to use more product or more water than product. For better foam, more water is better, generally for better foam. So that's dilution ratios, general dilution ratios out of the way. So yeah, let's go ahead and put it to the test. I can show you guys, how do you mix up a dilution, whatever else. So let's go ahead and do that. So first things first, you're gonna want to do this. I tend to just take out the tip real quick, and I'll be right back with some water and some chemical and a measuring cup. Alrighty, so I got 2 measuring cups here. One's 4 ounces, one's 2 ounces. What we're gonna be using is an all-purpose cleaner, some Meguiar's APC, and then for best results, you're gonna wanna be diluting it with distilled water. That's gonna give you better foam than if you were using regular water. So, let's do the math, okay? I'm gonna fill it to the 35 ounce line, and we want it to be diluted at 10-to-1 for light cleaning. So I'm gonna take out my calculator here. I'm gonna do 35 divided by 11 for 10-to-1. And that's 3.18 ounces. So, it doesn't have to be super exact in my opinion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 ounces of Meguiar's APC right here. I've got one of those spigots for my gallon. I'm gonna dump that in there. And I'm gonna do another ounce-ish, maybe just over. Again, it's not super exact. And there we go. Now that's our chemical. Like I said, you don't need that much chemical to product. Your chemical product ratio doesn't need to be super insanely high. Now, I'm just gonna fill it up to this 35 ounce line with the distilled water. Like I said, distilled water is gonna give you better foam than anything else would. So we got it filled to the 35 ounce line. And I will just set these 2 chemicals aside along with the measuring cups. So, got a little bit of water on my hands and on the sprayer, so I'll just use an old towel. This is an old waffle weave towel from the Rag Company. Fantastic window towel, by the way. And then once they're done for window towels, it makes great. They all make great shop towels once they're too old to be used as their original purpose. So, anyway, we've got our little sprayer tip. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir with that rather than shaking. If you stir with this or a stir stick or something like that, you're going to be better off. Okay, just dry it off real quick so I don't have chemical all over my hands. I'm going to set it back inside there where it goes. And now I can screw the lid back on. And literally that easy, it's ready to use now. So let's go take this outside and show you guys the use on an interior and how you can kind of make your interior cleaning process a little bit more efficient and easy. Alrighty, so let's show you guys how to put this puppy to use. So first thing you want to do is make sure the trigger's locked, and then you can start pumping. Pump action on these things is so good. So right here, I've got my interior detailing bucket or caddy. And basically, it's got all kinds of brushes and tools, and then a bunch of Express interior cleaner. And it's the best way that I've found to clean. So you can hear it kind of squeaking, and it's about to pop. There we go. So you can kind of see that it starts to lift up when it's getting close, and then you probably heard it on camera that it kind of popped. So what we do is we just press the trigger and foam. And that's now APC foamed right on there. I can put a little bit into my Detail Factory brush. You can see how much that builds on top of itself. It's insane how much this stuff foams. So, and then you can use this foamer with like Power Clean, you can use it with Express Interior Cleaner, you can use it with Pearl Auto Shampoo. You can any product with surfactant in it that will make it foam. You can use this foamer with. It's all about finding the right dilution. And then if you wanted to, you can put something that doesn't foam in it. And I mean, it'll work, it'll shoot out in a fan motion, it just won't foam. So, yeah. They do have a sprayer for that though, for unfoaming chemicals. It's called the IK Multi. I think it's called the Multi Pro 2, now in the newer generation. But yeah, I mean, you can see how much foam I sprayed down in there, and it just piles up. You can see how it's a little bit brown there. That's how you know it's clean in there. This towel's a little soaked. I used way too much foam. Don't use that much foam, it's just for camera purposes. You really don't need that much foam. But yeah, that's how you do it. So this is the IK Foam Pro 2. Great foaming pump sprayer, super high quality. I love it. It's pretty, it's effective, it works, and it really changes the way that you detail. So one last thing that I will talk about is, there you go. Now you've relieved your pressure. You can go set this on the shelf and use it next time. Or if you're not using these regularly, you can just take it out, take off the bottle, rinse out the cap and stuff, and then put it back on and you'll be fine. So yeah, that's the IK Foam Pro 2. Would I recommend this? Hell yeah, I'd recommend it. I think it's a fantastic sprayer, whether you're cleaning wheels, cleaning interiors, foaming iron removers. I love to foam iron removers in this thing. Anything around the car, any odd job or whatever. So much fun to use. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. You're gonna save a lot of time, save a lot of product, therefore save money. So yeah, very much recommend the IK Foam Pro 2. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.